You know, they attack without proposing anything. Like, okay, I'm proposing something. I'm proposing this. This is something I want discussed on Saturday, which is setting up a body that's going to get rid of the JLM. That's far more aggressive than what they do. They're basically a defensive organisation. I'm talking about twinning cities. I've got a petition with the council at the moment. We'll need to get 200 signatures. I've got half of them today already, to get Edinburgh to twin with Gaza. I mean, bloody hell, Balfour came from East Lothian, just up the road. I think Edinburgh would be a perfect place to start making up for the historical wrongs having taken the bloody country away from the Palestinians. So every city in Britain should be doing this, or trying to twin with a city in Palestine. What's the best way to stop settler expansion?
No, there is actually, petitions can actually make this happen, can't they?
That's what happens. I mean, they are a way of gathering people together that are like-minded. I mean, people say they don't do any good, but you do. You build the way that the world moves these days. All the big political party thing isn't working anymore. People are building up communities of interest, and you do that with a petition. I've got 2,000 people I know who all think that the IHRA is a piece of crap, and they're in touch with me. I'm in touch with them. We're all in touch with each other, and it's only through signing an online petition through change.org that electronic communication now works, and that is how things happen in the world these days. People have particular interests. They don't want a broad brush approach. And okay, we still have political parties, but within that, there's all sorts of battles to be fought on the environment, or about feminism, or about Zionism. And so this way of building groups, about building a movement that you can work together to stop the forces, and the forces of capital and the forces of, in this case, Zionism. They've got a lot of money, they've got a lot of influence, and you have to work from the grassroots up to kind of combat that. And I'm fully confident that you can, because I mean that's how things change. And if you didn't think that was possible, you'd just go off to a corner and die. And it's not rocket science. So this whole thing about twinning people with cities, it's a great way to get folk aware, because there's a lot of sympathy, particularly in Scotland. There's a lot of sympathy for Palestine. And,
so you're trying to get Edinburgh. Is it Edinburgh you're trying to get twinned with Gaza?
Yeah.
And if there's a petition, they send me the link and I'll put it under this video.
You got to live in Edinburgh. You see, this is
right. No, it's okay. If they're in Edinburgh, they can sign the link now.
That's right. Yeah.
So obviously, I know I've got some patrons from Edinburgh.
Well, so anyway, this is it here. This is tinyurl.com.
Yeah, no problem. Just send it me, and I'll put it in the video later, mate.
When I told the Lord Provost at the area where I live, is the Lord Provost of Edinburgh is my councillor. When I told him what I was doing, he completely shit himself. I mean, this is not what politicians want to do. They like, and the SNP, they love to put words out. We support the people like, Palestine. Or last year, Nicola Sturgeon, she told the Israeli ambassador that he really had to sort out Gaza. But now, hell, our city twinned with Gaza. We have to speak to Hamas. Bloody hell. They were bollocking it. One councillor, Lib Dem councillor, who actually works in international development, one of my local councillors came back and said, this is gesture politics. We shouldn't be doing this. And I'm saying, well, you work in international development. Moyle District Council in Northern Ireland twinned with Gaza in 2012 and helped with tourism, sport, football, healthcare, women's issues, library management, parks and maintenance, and sewage processing and education. That's Moyle Council with a population of 17,000. But what can Edinburgh offer with a population of 500,000? Moyle Council doesn't exist anymore because it got reorganised. But the guy, Patrick, who put this together, the councillor, is blinking genius. And I think, bloody hell, they've done a lot. Councils can do a lot to help you.
Yeah, so it's not just an empty gesture. That's the point. It's not just an empty gesture with a sign. It's actually things that you can help.
Knowledge, equipment, resources, people, ideas. And the thing that, the people in Gaza are really excited about this. Hamas was over the moon when I told them today, because it's about support, it's about recognition, it's about acknowledgement, it's about people in Gaza. This is mostly. I mean, Hamas just happened to be there. They were elected democratically at one point. They're in a war. You don't usually have elections in a war. There's been a war going on for a long time there. And the people of Palestine, they're screaming. I've got hundreds of friends in Palestine now. And what's the one thing they ask me for every day? The money. They haven't got any. They're starving. They've got fuck all. And I'm thinking, but they're really excited about the idea because it's communication. They are so isolated. That's why the internet means so much to all these people, because they want to reach out. They want people in the rest of the world to know what they're going through. and they are going through some awful things. I mean, it's appalling the world they live in. But, you know, them making friendships with other cities and with other people is the best thing. You know, this is what happens if you're in prison. You speak to the outside world, and the outside world heals you, and that means a huge amount.
Well, I think that's a great idea. So you read it first. Yeah, let's get
Yeah,
Edinburgh.
so I'm trying
Edinburgh
to
twinned with Gaza. How's that?
Anywhere, I mean, what town are you
Anywhere
from?
twinned with Gaza, yeah.
Where are you twinned with, God? What town are you from?
Oh, Wolverhampton. I think we're twinned with Beirut, probably. I don't know, to be honest.
If you can get the council to twin with Hebron or Calkilia or some city in Palestine, then suddenly Wolverhampton and some bit of Palestine get sort of joined at the hip. And then if something bad happens with Israeli settlers in that part of the world, suddenly the people of Wolverhampton know about it because there's your colleagues in another city being abused. I mean, it's one way to build consciousness, and we've got to look at lots of ways of building consciousness.
If you like this video and you want to see more, please subscribe and click the bell below so you get a notification of when I drop further videos. If you click the links on the screen as well through to my website, you can find out ways to support me. I can't do this without your help, and I really do appreciate it. Thanks very much for all your support, and until next time, peace and take care.